Salutations, my Fallout lovers. It is Matty here today, bringing you a Fallout 4 wishlist video. Now, before anything, be sure to check out the link in the description of my previous video. It's a little real talk about Fallout 4, and you should definitely check it out if you're on the edge about this game ever being announced. Anyways, this is a series created by your comments, so be sure to let me know down below what you want to see in the next installment of the Fallout franchise. If your comment is awesome enough, you can be featured in my next episode that appears every Thursday. Anyways, really quickly, I just want to say congratulations to the Fallout franchise. Just 10 years ago today, Bethesda acquired the rights to a fantastic franchise where they've only made 2 games, but still a great series, and we're going to be celebrating that tonight with a live stream between either 5 and 9 Eastern Standard Time. I usually start around 7, but we'll just see how my night goes. So yeah, expect the live stream, celebrating that later tonight. Anyways, I have prolonged that intro long enough. Let's get into the comments, starting with Luke Jones, and he says they should bring back the sleeping bag from Lonesome Road, or even a camp would be good. So this is very simple, but a very, very good comment, and the reason why I say this is because when we got this sleeping bag in Lonesome Road, then you could go out into New Vegas and you could sleep anywhere, and it made life a lot easier. It's almost a guarantee this will be in Fallout 4 whenever that comes around, because this is one of those things that once you got it, you were like, wow, this is such a simple idea, but it changes so much, because instead of looking for a bed when you don't have stim packs, or you don't want to waste stim packs and sleeping instead, you know, it just changed the whole game, being able to sleep anywhere you want. But since this will be a next-gen game, I feel like they could bring a interesting dynamic. Say you decide to, you know, hell, you want to lay down on the side of the road and take a nap next to a building or something, and some raiders find you. You might wake up in a camp, or you might wake up in a pile of radiated barrels. You know, you might wake up somewhere messed up, and it would be a really cool dynamic where it's like I could sleep and heal myself real quickly. But if I sleep for too long, this may screw me over. And it kind of puts this risk reward in where, like, if you slept indoors in a bed in a hotel, you paid for it or something like that, you know, one of those inns in Fallout, then that would work. Or in a safe town, that would work. That would be just fine. It'd be sleeping like in any other game. But if you do it in a sleeping bag out in the middle of nowhere, someone may find you. Hell, they might take your stuff. You don't know. I think this gives an opportunity to give a player a huge risk reward benefit here. And take it into hardcore mode, and hell, you have to sleep, for example, to and I actually think it is, I've never played hardcore mode, but I believe you have to sleep in hardcore mode or else your player gets tired or something like that. If not, that could be a feature. And anyways, if you don't sleep, then you get drowsy. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, do I make the choice to sleep out in the middle of nowhere, or do I try to trug along until I find a safe place to sleep? And it kind of makes the game a lot more intense. Really small wish, but as you can see, there's a lot to develop onto it. So anyways, moving on to the next comment, Tom Features says, it would be great if Fallout had more in-depth stats for your character. For example, lung capacity, where you can hold your breath for longer. This would be useful for snipers when you hold your breath to increase your accuracy, or when swimming underwater. They also could add a medical knowledge stat for when you get a super stim pack. You need to have a medical skill of 35 to use it, for example. This would encourage players to be cautious when picking skills, because if they spend it all in guns, they would not have the skill to heal themselves easily, for example. So this is a really good idea, and he kind of covers like the basis of what this idea is. Basically, at first I got the idea that he was saying that just add more skills that you have to pick between. That's kind of the idea I was getting from. And while that would help a lot, I think it would also be cool if Bethesda had it so that these skills had almost like second tiers, where if you invested to it and you got to like 50 out of 100 for this skill, you unlocked like a second tier. For example, if I invested in my medicine stat and I got to 50, then I could use the super stim packs, for example. And that would really be awesome. Or I can access certain weapons if I increase my big weapons, or my big guns, or my small guns. You know, you can access different things in game, or you can access different areas of like buildings and whatnot. You can sneak in through different areas. If my lockpicking is this high, I can sneak in through a back door. Or if my explosives is this high, I can just blow the door open, for example. You get what I'm trying to say here, is that this can really be expanded upon and give a lot of gameplay variations, but it also could just be as easily done as adding a bunch of extra skills. But I kind of like the idea of second tiers, so when I'm investing in these skills, I know I'm probably going to be getting something like a bonus out of it. Anyways, great wish. Moving on to the final wish, coming from Clayton D. He says, I think a dynamic civilization system would be cool. I mean, say you massacre a town and leave in 3, and New Vegas, you come back and the town's just as empty as you left it, with the occasional corpse of an essential character that doesn't despawn. What I want in Fallout 4 would be for me to come back to that town and see that raiders or fire ants made it into their home. Maybe characters around the map would talk about how they heard a town was gone and killed by one person, and how they're angry, scared, happy that it's gone. Now, what's awesome about this idea, what's really, really cool about this idea, is, for example, how many of us have saved our games, just said, fuck it, I'm going on a killing spree. You kill everything in the town and you reload your game. This doesn't take away that negative aspect because it's usually replaced by, as he says here, raiders, fire ants, hostile enemies. But it almost takes away that, like, that damn I just killed everyone thing, because who knows, maybe you lose a quest or something, but when you return to this area and you see it's populated, it kind of eases the guilt in a way, if you know what I mean. It sounds crazy, but it almost eases the guilt in a way because there's someone there. It seems like the world has moved on in a way. Someone saw an open town, someone saw opportunity, and they moved in. This would be a really awesome idea. Also, if we incorporated from a wish from, like, I think within our first 5 episodes was a dynamic map where certain factions are controlling certain sections of the map, and you can see that on the map itself. And then if you go ahead and, let's say I took out this town in an NCR area, maybe the NCR would make this into their own fortress and the map changes up a little bit more. Maybe it expands into another set of territory. Like, all of a sudden that's like right near like Legion territory or something, and they just start fighting each other for land. I don't know, it's such a cool idea, this whole dynamic map civilization idea. I really hope it happens, as far-fetched as it sounds, but nonetheless, great wishes to all of you, Luke Jones, Tom Features, and Clayton D. I appreciate it, and I want to hear what you guys want to see in the next fall installment. Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. Be sure not to miss my stream later tonight. As always, be sure to follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. How many times am I going to say be sure? Be sure to keep my discount codes in mind. I hope you guys enjoyed once again. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.